My name's Sasha Pete, and I'm joined by a fantastic individual. This man made the Melbourne Croatia team of the century alongside Mark Viduka. Migrating from Croatia, he played for Melbourne Croatia for many, many years, a number with other great teams, including my beloved club, and hopefully we'll get to ask about that as well. He also represented Australia, wearing proudly the green and gold. I'm joined none other than the great Billy Vojtek. Welcome, Billy.
Thank you very much.
So, Billy, tell us, how did you fall in love with our great game?
I think it was around about 1952. I was about nearly 9 years old, and Yugoslavia was playing Russia in the Olympic Games in Helsinki, the second semi-final. First game was 5-5, and somehow everybody, it was unbelievable on the street, and there were microphones on the street, there was everything on it, and everybody's under there, and I'm thinking, I'll go there and listen to, like, you know, and football, I was just mesmerized by the football, this round ball everywhere, and all of a sudden I was born. I loved football. I just wanted to be one of those, you know, that played football. I just wanted to play, you know what I mean? What have I done?
I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, seeing obviously at that time, Yugoslavia had a fantastic group of players, obviously, and that's how you captured the imagination of a young boy. But it was soon after that you migrated to Australia. Tell us, how did that come about?
That was back in '57. I was just beginning to play for a youth team, local youth team called Borac in Zemun. And I was going to join the youth team. That youth had to be 14, 15 or something. And we were 12, 13. And anyway, we migrated to Australia, and that's all gone. I love football. I played for school team, street against street. We used to play for money. I was, you know, and we were just football mad.
Yeah.
Football mad, you know what I mean? You buy chocolates, and there's the football pictures in chocolates, and we will pin them on here and take them to school. And, you know, the famous Yugoslav players, Vukas, Bobek, Beara, Zebec, all those players. And I was just, you know, if I could only see them, if I can only imitate a few tricks and things like that. And we played constantly. Then in '57, my father came in '56. The communist regime wasn't good for him. He was a watchmaker, jeweler, and they were locking up. There were people that were dealing with gold and things like that. Anyway, my father came out here. People sponsored him. He came in '56 Olympic Games, and we came in '57. And again, we were football mad. Me and my brother, we would carry soccer ball everywhere to school. The people were saying, these crazy people, you know. We came to Ascot Vale, and Ascot West, the school. And there was a summertime when we came, Australia Day in 1957. And we'd carry the school. We came here, and within a week or so, the school had started. And we carried a soccer ball and runners in the school. They were saying crazy people playing soccer, they were playing footy, cricket, things like that. You know, anyway. So we just love football. Me and my brother, we love football. I would nag him all the time. Do anything you want, you know. Come out of the street, we'd kick the ball. I'll be a goalkeeper, you kick the ball. And he said, oh, no, you. I said, do you be the goalkeeper? And he said, no, you always kick to the corners. I can't get the ball. You know what I mean? He said, if you kick straight at me, I will be the goalkeeper. But if you always kick past me, I'm not going to play. You know, but I always used to look for the corners and that, you know, only a small rubber ball, but anyway, or tennis ball, anything that we had. Anyway, so came March, February, we were living on top of the hill or top of the Fairbairn Park in Ascot Vale, and I could see the kids stand there one Saturday morning, whatever it was, Sunday, they were getting to play soccer. And I said to my brother, let's go down and have a look what these guys are doing, you know what I mean? So we went there, and they were playing, and we played in our shoes. We didn't have a boots, didn't have anything. And they said, we are Essendon Soccer Club, the local Essendon Soccer Club, the kids, you know, were under 14. I said, yeah, we got to join. We'd get the ball, my brother, nobody can take it off us. No one. They rushed straight away. They said, well, where you come from? We want to sign you, this, that, and that. We just wanted to play, you know what I mean? And not long after that, I might have been June, July, whatever it was, might have been earlier. Victoria came to play against Essendon. And we beat them 5-1. You know, I scored the goals and my brother. And that, all of a sudden, they said to us, you could play for Victoria. You would be playing for Victoria. You know what I mean? Yep. I said, no, what are you talking about? Anyway, well, I've got pictures, Victorian team, 1958, under 14, going to New South Wales. So they gave us a pocket, just a pocket, you know what I mean? Victorian Soccer Association. But they didn't give us a reefer jacket. And we were really poor, like we just arrived. We bought the house on a deposit and that. My father only worked. And so the school saw in a paper, in a Sporting Globe, the picture and everything, and we talked about it, and the kids have collected the money so that me and my brother can have a reefer jacket.
Oh, beautiful.
He read it on me and put the pocket on. We were going, only give him, anyway, but that were unbelievable times, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we played for them, and
That's amazing. So you were selected to play for Victoria on the basis of one game, banging in a couple of goals against them, right? Yeah. So is that, beautiful story.
You know, you're in a Victorian team now. You know, and we went to Sydney and we beat New South Wales 2-0 in Sydney, and we went to Canberra, thrashed them in Canberra, Wollongong, Cessnock, Sydney, playing the final before some big match stand there. I can't remember now. I remember Baumgartner and a few of those guys, you know. Anyway, so that was the beginning, how it began almost from nothing, from Europe to this, all of a sudden that we were sort of in a team. And so how it was, he says, and then I met some Croatian friends that were playing in the other teams, with Sunshine City. Who was the other team? There was Ajax in St. Albans. There was Ajax. There were a lot of other teams around. And so they said, you know, you're Croatian? Yes, we're Croatian. We want, yeah. So we got together, and over that summer we played together. And I went to watch Melbourne Croatia play in 1959. And I liked what I saw. I thought maybe one day I can play for them. You know what I mean? And then I saw Melbourne Croatia. The Croatia played Olympic Park. There used to be a World Cup after the season. Must have been at the end of 59 or something. It must have been at 59. And Croatia was playing Scotland at Olympic Park. You know, there was Greece, Scotland, Scotland, England, all the teams. And anyway, it was a semi-final, and Croatia played against Scotland, and to be afterwards a very, very good friend of mine. He scored one of the goals. And I said, I want to play for this Croatian team too, you know what I mean? And so that was 59, 60. I watched them. We used to go and watch them. And I played for Victoria under 15s, under 18s. And people started to notice me, you know what I mean? That I was quite good. And they were even writing, one of these days, this guy's going to be this and that. Anyway. So in 1962, I signed with Melbourne Croatia. We went to training. Yeah. 100 people at Footscray Park. Everybody trials for Melbourne Croatia for 1962 season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that put us 10 people in one group. Only the first two that are fastest. I didn't look at the skills or anything. The first two that are fastest on that side, the others can go home. Afterwards, they were, you know, honestly, it was like that. I thought, geez, if I fall down or something happens to me, you know what I mean? I might make this, you know what I mean? I would have to get on to go in there, you know what I mean? Yeah. And of course, I won the race or whatever, because I was pretty fast. Anyway, but I could have fallen. I would have been on the other side. And who knows?
Yeah. End of your football career, one slip.
This is what can happen. And anyway, afterwards, I had offers from Melbourne, Hungary, from Austria, from this, from that, from bloody everywhere, you know what I mean? But no, I wanted to play for Melbourne, Croatia.
Yes.
There was this thing in me. And, you know, we were only first division, but I thought, yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to win this league, this championship, and then we'll be in a state league, join the other 12 teams, you know what I mean? And then we'll be playing Olympic Park, we'll have all this. And so we did win a championship. We were only 62. We were finished on top, but by 8 points, and only had 2 losses all year. And so we played in the state league, and that was 1963.
So you're still a young man there. What you're 19.
19, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got in there, and then we found out what it's really like to play against George Crosses, Polonius,
Yeah.
says Vojtek just bought 6-7 players from Yugoslavia. We didn't have anybody. We didn't have our own country, so it's only what we've got, and we weren't that rich. But there was something about it. We were going to be okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were relegated. We were relegated in 63.
Yeah.
We got together, got few players, and a lot of left, but they offered me a good contract at the time. And actually, when I joined Croatia, they gave me £100, my signing on fee in 1962, and I was getting £10 a game, and I was getting £2 or something for every goal I scored.
Fantastic.
My father was working in Melbourne, fixing watches, Myers in Melbourne, in a city. His wages were £9, and I was getting £10 plus this. You know what I mean? I was the richest kid around. You know what I mean? Honestly, we would do money for everything. I would take all my friends. We'd go every night. You buy a Coke for 6 pence or in tuppences and threepences and all this. I was getting £10 and plus every goal I score. You know what I mean? Yeah. And plus the people put a lot of money in my pocket every time we win and I play well. They'd come and put the money in my pockets. It was unbelievable. That was in 62. Anyway, in 63 we were relegated. We got together again, and we're gonna make the team and see if we can win again in 1964. So we put all our resorts and we bought some new players and kept a few older ones and things like that. And we won the league. Last match of the competition, we played Preston, Macedonia. 7,000 people at Port Melbourne. It was the biggest crowd, unbelievable crowd there. And we beat Preston 3-1, Preston, Macedonia. They bought some players from Macedonia, this and that. We got some players from Chile and Argentina, from Sydney to come. And they came down. And when they saw us training on Friday and Saturday morning, they said, "You don't need us. You are too strong without us." You know what I mean? Mm. And anyway, so we beat them 3-1. I got one of the goals. It was the best day since then when it happened, I had so much money that the following day I went to High Street, Preston, and bought Ford Custom Line, second hand, of course, 1956 Ford Custom Line white car for £700 or whatever it was. Wow. I had to buy all that, and honestly, that came from all the money that I got, and I had that until I was married in 1967. But it was, it was unbelievable. The club was growing, and and I was, within 18 months, I was playing for Australia, which is unbelievable, from second division to state league. And then all of a sudden, by 66, I was playing against Roma, playing for Victoria. So it's all very, very, very quick, And then by 67, I was already in a team for Australia to go to Vietnam. And, those are the days that even today, it's hard for me to fathom because everything went so fast those days. Why did it go so fast? And but they were wonderful days.
In 1965, the club made a decision to sign a Celtic and Scotland defender in Duncan McCain. So that would have been a huge name, bringing somebody of that ilk into the side. What did you learn from Duncan?
Well, he was a dedicated person. He loved football. I think he might have been 34, 30, but he was captain of Celtic, and he played that year or year before against England when Scotland beat England 7-3. I think it was at Wembley. He helped Bobby Charlton, so you can imagine the players of caliber he was. And he was like a little child with football. He arrived. Never forget, 2:00 in the morning on Sunday morning, and we were playing footscray just at Olympic Park that afternoon. And all the players knew that this Duncan McKay is coming. Nobody knew exactly where he plays, maybe midfielder, And but I know he's coming, and it was. I can still feel the tension in a dressing room. Nobody wanted to lose the place because you'd be playing next week, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So we all played beyond that, and we beat JVC 3-0 that day. And
Wow.
he was saying, boy, you know, what kind of team I've come to, an unbelievable team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but he was the first guy to say to me, Bill, you're living in clouds. You're playing against everybody else by yourself, this and that. He said, I'll tell you what, you'll be on a bench for next week. A few weeks after that, he said, you'll be on a bench. He said, just come down. You've got to come down from these clouds. So we used to talk. But anyway, he after 1 week, or no, the next week, I was already in the first team and playing the best I can. I mean, he actually, without him, I probably wouldn't play for Australia, because he was one of those guys that when they was talking about young people to play for the national team, every club had to nominate few players. And as he was the coach, he said, I've got one that's probably better than anybody else. That's Billy Vojtek, you know what I mean? And when he speaks, but I still had to go there and prove it. But there you are. But he was an unbelievable person. Unfortunately, passed away.
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously, somebody who you could learn off, and he recommended you to go on. And another teammate of yours, another Socceroo, Jimmy McKay, who you played alongside with both in club colours and the national team. What can you tell us about your time playing alongside Jimmy?
Jimmy McKay, he wasn't at the beginning known as Duncan McKay. I think it took him 1 year to get in the first team. He was in and out. I think he played in Scotland on a Sunday league, Sunday league in Scotland. It was that he played for any top team. But Jimmy learned quick, and he loved Australia. He married an Australian girl, and he, even at the time, the early days, you would see him. I've got many pictures where Jim was just a reserve. But he's coming in, making himself known. And Rale Rasic had an unbelievable belief. I don't think he knew anything about Jim McKay, but he had this belief that Jim McKay can be a really great player, which is fine, which he is, and he was. And but he learned everything here. A lot of players come here that they're not that good, you know what I mean? But they can learn here and that, get this level of the football here against the Scottish and other nationalities. And Jim McKay, but he was a fantastic player. We played for 6-7 years together.
Yes.
And, it was was fantastic for us to come on the park, and we knew exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. We knew we were going to win, particularly from that 66, 67, 68 onwards, right up to 70, 72, and the problem happened. But look, that was fantastic days.
And obviously, you were both named in the Melbourne Croatia Team of the Century. He would play behind you. He would connect with you. He would give you balls, and you would be nippy up front to get inside and slot those goals in. So brilliant. So tell me, in '67, where you guys are in the middle of an interesting time with the Socceroos. You boys headed over to Vietnam. Tell us, what was that like? 1967 Vietnam. It's what are you thinking when you're thinking, oh my goodness, we're going to go?
Just football.
Yeah, but
everybody's pretty young. I was 23, 24 at the time. Actually, I had a letter from Australian Soccer Federation. Come to Olympic Park one night, Wednesday night, I think it was. The 15 Victorian players are selected to Olympic Park. They're coming from Sydney to watch us. Just play on 2 goals and, just play amongst themselves. They're going to select the players. We're going to Sydney for 2 weeks in Sydney for training there and there. There'll be 40 players selected in Sydney altogether. Then they're going to select 18 players that are going to go to Vietnam. Now, it was a long procedure. We were, like I said, that night we were there. All the best players were there. They picked out of that, they picked 7 players. Otia Boni, Frank Mitsic, Van Alphen, George Keith, myself, and another guy, Colin Myers from Melbourne. And we were flown to Sydney the following week. I just got married in August. This was October, so I didn't much time. But anyway, and we were flown to Sydney. We were thrown in a camp, 2 weeks camp, and we were playing against up here, all the teams, and training and working. And, then one day they told us, those people that are going to get injections, that means that, because of you going to Vietnam, wherever in Asia, they are the ones that are going. If your name is not called, if you don't going to get injection, pack your bags, you'll be going home. And I thought, Jesus, give me an injection, give me 5, as long as I can be in the team, That was actually, we were in the same room, Frank Mitsic, myself, and Otia Boni.
Yeah.
So when they called my name, Billy Vojtek, get to the doctors. I thought, God, unbelievable. All these, here I am, the kid that grew up, played all this football in Footscray Park and through Melbourne Croatia, this system, this, that. All of a sudden, I am going to play for. I will be in the 18 to play for Australia. Yeah. Then I thought, geez, I don't want to be in 18. I want a shirt. I want to play. You know what I mean? I mean, your ambitions are higher and higher all the time. You just want to, and I was thinking, I've got to play. This would be great if I can play. Anyway, as we learned about each other, we were there 2 weeks before the tournament started. We came to this strange country where there's war, where the helicopters were flying all the time, doom, 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 doom at night time. Only 67, very bad. But we weren't scared. We just wanted this match to begin. We wanted to be, to play. And we were taken to Australian Embassy, and they said to us, listen, guys, don't go kicking anything on the road because the Viet Cong were everywhere. They can, bricks can explode. They said, you guys have got a bad habit of kicking things as you walk along. It wasn't like that, not that way. And they told us all, I said, when you see Americans, get on the other side of the road if you can, because you're not target. The Australians are not the target, but the Americans are target. And so, and then, okay, so we came to this first game against New Zealand. Everybody, all of a sudden, they said, Billy Vojtek, you're number 11, you'll be playing in a team. I thought, God, unbelievable, I don't know. So they said the forward line is going to be Tom McCall, Otia Boni, Johnny Warren, Ray Bartz, and yourself on the left. We played 5 in front, with maybe Otia a little bit behind and Bartz behind, but the 3 of us up the front, And let the match begin against New Zealand. New Zealand had a lot of Hungarians because they come on a boat in '56. There was a revolution there, so they had a lot of Hungarians, and they were very, very good. Anyway, but we didn't care. We played for Australia. We're going to win this first game no matter what. We led 3 times first half, and 3 times they came back. Half time, 3-3. Half time. Well, I can still, tension was there. Somebody's going to come out. They're going to have some poor players. Frank Mitsic was a star. He was even my idol today. I watched him at Footscray Just. He was the captain. He played against Manchester United. He captained Victoria. He did so many good things. He was taken off at half time because it was raining and it was a pretty bad. The surface was very soft, and Mitsic, an elegant player, couldn't run through the mud and that. They put Manfred Schaefer in there. And I'll never ever forget, Schaefer played after that 70, 80 times for Australia. Frank Mitsic played 4, and that's all. And he's a much, much better. Frank Mitsic could take off Schaefer in a little pocket. That's how good Frank Mitsic was. And he never played for Australia. The other guy went through. I've got nothing against Schaefer. We're very good friends. But I'm just saying how things can change and turn. You know what I mean? And even myself, I played. And we went through. We got to the final. And I couldn't score a goal. I thought, geez, what the hell's going on? Bonnie scoring goals, Warren scoring goals, Barty, the only player up the front never scored a goal. I thought, this guy's not going to select me in the final. Anyway, he saw something in me, and just as well he did, because Korea led 1-0 early on, and then one of these times I just got the ball, went through them like nothing, and smashed it right in top corner. 1-1, we beat Korea 3-2. We won the final. And we watched Korea play. We watched them a few times play. We were all saying, honestly, what are we doing here? These guys are too good for us. What we do here? They were fast, they were technical, they were strong, they were tough, they were everything. And we thought, God, we got a little bit scared. We thought, look, we are Australia. We pumped up ourselves up, and we beat them in the final. So anything is possible, anything can happen, and even Billy Vojtek can score a goal, you know. And after that, I played all 10 games on the tour. After that, I finished the second goal scorer of the tour. Otia Boni finished first, and I finished second with 11 goals. Otia finished with 15. And Barty scored 4 or 5. John Warren scored 4. But after that, I scored goals all the time. But I just needed that first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's amazing. What does it feel like to stand there with the other 11 boys and hear that national anthem being played?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look, we've got a new national anthem, but that's not for me. The other one, you know, God Save the Queen, that national anthem that Australia had at the time, that is a national anthem for me, because we stood there and you stand there and you're playing for your country, you're playing for all your friends, you're playing for your family, for, you know, it is amazing feeling. People that haven't got, I know today, the sports people are exactly the same. They love this anthem. They're standing there, and you wonder what's going to happen next when the game starts, how you're going to go. You're not going to disappoint. You don't worry about yourself a little bit, but the other people that watch you play, you want them to say, hey, this guy played well, like, you know. And it's a million things are going through your mind, you know, what my father would say, or my brother, or everybody else, you know, that I don't want them to be disappointed. Some people can say on the street, oh, Billy Vojtek was bad or something like that, you know what I mean? So you think of all these things, and but it's a fantastic feeling. You've got green and gold, and you just want to kiss it.
And that's beautiful to hear. And so you formed a strong friendship with Atia Boni. You would play obviously in the national team together, but you became friends off the park as well. Obviously, another fantastic forward. You know, tell me how. I mean, your families would mix, and you'd go to the parks together, and you know, the kids would play together. Tell me how that friendship in football translated outside of football.
He used to live in Carlton, and there was a park in the Carlton that we lived in Mascot Island. We played in Footscray, all my friends, Croatians, and that. And he'd have all his friends in Carlton, and many weeks he'd bring his boys to Footscray Park. And we're not playing, we were still kids, you know, we would play at the Footscray Park, and then next week, whatever, we'll go in Carlton and play against him in Carlton. We just love football. Otti was like me, like, you know, he just loved football. He came from Hungary with his brother, 1 year older, 2 years older than him. And I had the Hungarians and this like that. And I had my Croatians. And for us, when we go back to Vietnam, that both of us, a little kid from Carlton, and even smaller kid from Mascot Island, from Footscray Park, here we are standing here in front of 40,000 people playing in a final against Korea. It's unreal. You know, you would think that the players come from somewhere special. No, we just come from Park, you know what I mean? Just because we love football. It was great. Yeah. It was like that, but we were always friends. We're forever friends. And like I said, you know, he was one or 2 year. When I was playing under 18s, I think they went to Sydney under 16s. A couple of my friends were at that under 16 team that went to Sydney. But that's how we started, from junior, loving football, you know, and dreaming about one day maybe doing something, you know what I mean? We never dreamt about Europe, because we just come from bad Europe. Particularly he came from revolution, and Yugoslavia is under communism, and we didn't go back. Who wants to go to Europe to play in Europe? No way. You know, particularly then we got married, he got married, I got married, and got a family down here. No Europe today. Kids are going to Europe. They think Europe is everything. Good luck to them.
So fantastic stories there and friendships formed. It's amazing when you follow your passion, what you're able to accomplish. And, you know, your time at Melbourne, Croatia, a number of Ampol Cups, and successes. Tell me about what springs to mind for you. Which moments in your career do you remember with greatest fondness?
Well, I remember those 62, those days that I've started in this team. And it took us from 62 to 1968 when we won our first major trophy. So it took us 6 years, from 2 to 8. In 1968, we got this team together. Everything was going right, and we were playing Slavia in the final of the Ampol Cup. And it was 1-1. and extra time came, somehow I got the ball here and there. I went through them all, and Schroef was in a goal. The man from Czechoslovakia, the Czech national team in 1962 in Chile. Anyway, I scored a goal against him, and we won our first big trophy. That was Empor Cup 1968. And it was unbelievable. Melbourne, Croatia, from that kind of very, very, very slow beginnings, very, how would I say?
Humble beginnings.
I'm looking for a word, humble beginnings, not rich, not anything. Took us a long time, and we finally won the 1968. All the other teams, we used to watch them win something, but we never won anything. And here we are, apart from 2 championships, 62 and 64. But anyway, this time, it was great. It was great before that. What was it? There was always something happening, because if you're not a top team, you don't play at Olympic Park. Now, Olympic Park used to be every Sunday. The best teams would play at Olympic Park. And you had to be best so that you can play Olympic Park. And we always wanted to play at this Olympic Park. You don't play in Empor Cup if you don't finish in the first 8. So only the 8 team goes, the other 4 don't make it. So there's always a challenges here and then. Not just, we never made it. This time we made it, and we won the thing. Everything was just sort of coming into it. You know what I mean? And and then we won 4 times, 5 times, whatever it was that I played with them. That first one, and the other one was when we 1972. I think we beat Footscray just 5-1 in another Empor Cup final. We thrashed 5-1. That was a big score, and we all played very well. Chimakai got 2 goals. I got 2 goals, and Ivica Turic, I got it with a head. It was unbelievable. Thrashed them. They were having the big parties in St Kilda. They booked everything, the roast and everything else, just because they beat Polonia 5-0 in a semi-final. They thrashed them, and I scored a goal from about 30 meters against Juventus. We just won 1-0, and of course everybody's going to back Footscray just, so we beat them 5-1. So you can see change things, and I always remember that final, and of course 1968 final. I remember, and 69 and all those finals. Then I won a final with the Green Gully Ajaxes at 1979. Long time, 10 years after that, 11 years after that. Yeah. So I'd luck with this Empor Cups, but Dockery Cup. We're champions of Victoria 1968. We're champion Victoria 1972. We, from that humble beginning, like you said, we came through to be one of the Hellas's and George Crosses and all those top teams that and it was great.
And I think what you did was inspire a generation of younger Croatian boys, particularly in the western suburbs of Melbourne, to take up the game. I mean, I know people who are older than me but younger than you that look up to your time about what you guys did for Melbourne, Croatia. So credit to you and the boys.
Shalina used to go around and saying, I want to be Bill Vojtek, I want to be Bill Vojtek. So there you are. That was, even when he meets me, he said, I wanted to always be Bill Vojtek.
Yeah. Fantastic. So obviously there was trouble in 72 and the team got finished, and you spent time in Sydney, Croatia. You went up to Sydney basically to get it to make an earn there. What was it like transitioning, moving from Melbourne, going to Sydney?
I never moved. I lived in Melbourne.
Okay, all right.
And every Sunday I'd get on 11 o'clock plane, and I'll be in Sydney. They pick me up. We go for meal, lunch, whatever. And at 3 o'clock I'll be playing a match in Sydney. I did it for 2.5 years, and my wife would come there a few times. My daughter was just born in 73, and she would every 4 or 5 weeks would bring a little girl. I remember her very well, carrying her to Sydney, and we were playing Wollongong. We would play wherever we were playing, and but Sydney was really not my home because I lived in Melbourne. We were building a house in 73. The house was finished, and in Heidelberg. So I didn't really want to go. Everybody's saying you should go to Sydney, and no, I love Melbourne. Melbourne was this is where I began. This is this is where my everything is. But though when it happened, the only player that Melbourne Croatia got the money from Sydney Croatia was for me. Jim Mackay went to Kakoa, They never got a cent. McIntyre went to Hellas, got nobody. They got no money from no one in Melbourne, Croatia, but from me. They got $8,000 from me. It was a big money at the time, $8,000. But then when I was coming back in 75, 76, Mirabella, the big Mirabella, you know, the Mirabella Lightning and all that. He was the president of Juventus, and he paid me some good money to come to play. And then,
Juventus.
Yeah, but Juventus, and that's how I come to Juventus. And I tell you a funny story with him. I think I was getting £5,000 at the time. It wasn't a big. Look in 75 you can buy a car. You can buy my wife, we bought a station wagon, Holden station wagon, I think for $4,500 at Footscray Motors, near the Footscray football ground. So I was getting 5,000 plus. I was getting a good money from Juventus. So good money. Not in Sydney, I was getting the best money. I was getting 200. My fares were paid every week. They would give me $250 a game, and every Saturday or Sunday that when we played here, Saturday or Sunday, they open up the pokie, one of the pokie machines, and whatever for 1 hour from 6 to 7 o'clock, whatever was in the pokie machine, that was all mine.
Wow.
So sometimes I can earn 700, sometimes I can 8, sometimes I maybe 5. But it was always, people would always play on a pokie machine where I wasn't, they would give it to me. We were building a house, I needed a carpet, $700, whatever it was. No problem. Everything, you know, it was, look, I was fortunate, but I did play football, and I played very good there. I played very, very good. It was the first time that Sydney, Croatia made the fall to play to play playoffs. And I mean, you had the big four there. So George Budapest, Apia, Hakoa, Marconi. They were the big four. I think Marconi dropped out, and Sydney, Croatia played that year. And we were also semi-finals in the Empire Cup there. I finished second in 1 year, second in the Rothmans Medal Award. Everybody said you should have got it, but no problem. And then when the World Cup came, I played for the team from 67 to 73, 74. And anyway, that's the way it goes. But
the from 1967 to 1973, you know, you played over 40 games for Australia. Yes. Represented us with great honour, and scored a number of goals. So we thank you for your service and what you were able to do for our great country, and you will be remembered fondly for your contribution. So you said you were back, and after Juventus, you circle back to Croatia, obviously. Yes. in the 77, 78. Tell us about that full circle back to Essendon, Croatia.
I was feeling great, and everything, and I was playing better than ever. Honestly, and then the game came against Metros from Canada, playing against Croatia selectors from Australia in Sydney, and this big Negro fell on my ankle and twisted it so badly I cannot believe. It was a really bad injury, but I played till the end. We beat them 1-0. Never mind. I played till the end, but I was never right. And then in August 78, I was playing for Melbourne, Croatia, and my Achilles snapped. Went boom.
Oh wow!
It's like a knee bomb. Went boom, and I was gone. That was in August 78. And I was for I think 2-3 months in a plaster. I thought the guy that did the job did very, very well, because by the January, when Green Gully people rang me up, Mr. Spiteri, I think he passed away. Spiteri's father.
Yeah, Joe Spiteri's dad was the president there. That's right.
He rang me up and he said, "Would you like to? We want you to come. You know, this and that." I said, "Yeah, captain, coach there and there, and things like that." And we won the Empire Cup, and I was, you know, I recovered not bad. After 4 or 5 months, I was okay. I was never the right, because once your Achilles goes, I think you go down 35%. Your speed goes, everything. You're not the same anymore. But anyway, I carried on, and I played till 1985 when I was 42. Played for smaller clubs. I got Dinamo St Albans in the league and things like that. But But that 1990, I played 1980 for Green Gully, 79, 80, you know. So I was already 37 at the time. But anyway, I just loved football and kept playing for Essendon Tristina, kept playing for this, for that, Dinamo St Albans. I bought from third division into a state league, things like that, you know. And I just love football. It was just that round ball is just something magic.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to ask because obviously you played for you went down to Ralph Reserve, so that's the club that I spent most of my life at, and so it would be remiss of me. It would be remiss of me not to talk a little bit about your stint at Western Suburbs. So Western Suburbs, obviously a small, humble club in just behind there, the Sunshine Golf Course there on Ralph Street, Ralph Reserve.
Yes.
So how did you come to play for Western Suburbs?
Dillis rang me up. He had a takeaway shop in Footscray.
Yeah.
I would sometimes go and buy some food from him. And one day he said, "Oh, he said, look, we'll give you anything. Why don't you come and coach?" You know, that was after Green Gully. And I said, "Oh, yeah, why not?" You know, so I was already finished for the state league, and I wasn't really interested maybe playing for Green Gully. And I thought that'd be good. That second division, you know, first division, one division from going up. And I spent 2 years down there. I loved it down there. The Greek people are brilliant, and we bought some good players because of me. They came, they wanted to play, and we did very well. I think both year we finished second or third. Both year we were just up there. No, just a little bit adjustment. We'd make a few mistakes here and there, but apart from that, I loved it. It was good. I'm still friends with all the people that I see when I go, and they always want me there and there. And they say, "Bill, when you're gonna come watch the game, this and that," and I'm their special guest when I get there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I love the people and I love everybody. That we never had any problems.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So shout out to Jimmy Condillis, obviously lifeblood of Western Suburbs Soccer Club. So, and thank you for your service to Western Suburbs. All right, so you mentioned that you played down the leagues. You spent now you're getting on in years, and you spent time with St Albans Dinamo, another fantastic club. You know, now today a football factory. The boys that come from their great club, and also now Essendon Tristina, another fantastic football factory now, Essendon Royals. But so.
Coach Tristina at one stage.
Yeah. Back then it was Essendon Tristina. So fantastic service. So you finished 85, 86 is when you finished playing football. Is that right?
No, I didn't. Then a friend of mine from Melbourne Croatia earlier days, he was a coach at Chelsea Hajduk.
Okay.
In the third division. And he rang me up. He said, "Bill, we can't win a bloody game. Would you come down?" You know, we said, "We've got Jimmy Rooney, we've got Jimmy Smart." He said, "All we need is, would you come and join us?" You know what I mean? Okay. I said, "Oh, well, Jimmy Rooney, Jimmy Smart," and I know that very well. I know Jimmy Rooney. And so we got down there and we won one league championship. Next year, 2 years in a row, we were going up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so.
What year was this?
88, 89. So you can imagine, I was nearly 50 years old, but I played and we did very well. It's all there, and I might even have a picture here of that Chelsea and or at those days. You know what I mean? But but the only thing was a long way from Heidelberg. I would have to travel to Chelsea. It was awful. The traffic and there and back, and mind you, we'd have a few beers and then traveling back. Problem with the bus buses and everything else. So, but they were very good because there was always envelope after the game, and it was in the envelope exactly what I wanted and what was my mind.
Yeah,
was there. They were terrific. And I'll thank him for that forever. I mean, you know, they were honest. You know.
So the fantastic stories. You've got some memorabilia that you'd like to share.
Look, I really don't. This is This one of my albums, Bill Vojtek. I laugh to die for. Now, the millions of things, like, pictures of different things, of different clubs. I'd see if I can get a big one. I don't know what time, how many times you got. There you are. This is Croatia back in 1965. If I might show it to you somehow. How can we do that?
Yeah, fantastic. Beautiful.
65. That's Duncan McKay. This is Duncan McKay. The one on the end, the third from the left or right, whatever you want to call the French part. Or there's a Hammy McMeekin, who got a good player. He played for Australia in 1965, the qualifying team, Cambodia.
Yeah.
That's when we started buying some good players. They were spending a bit of money. I don't know. I don't want to touch that. But Joe Keenan, myself, Curry, Hammy McMeekin, Bart Adlam come from England. This Matijevic played in the first division in Yugoslavia. This is Becci, they played in Hungary. So we had Mirko Kovacic and Chetkuti. Look, 1965. So some of the
Fantastic photo.
You wanted some of the yeah. This is the early pictures. I don't know if you can see now.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
The first games in 1963 at Olympic Park.
Oh, nice.
And so you can see.
Yes.
This is look.
Yeah, a young Billy Vojtek up front. How's that? Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm worried. I was thinking, bloody hell, how we're gonna play George Cross, because I like George Cross. I like Eddie Sacco, and I like Eddie Falzon and all that. You know what I mean? And this is the earliest, 1962, Melbourne, Croatia. But
beautiful.
All the people, you can see this is the man we really like. He's got a bag in his pocket. He was our secretary, and he would pay us the money. And when he got his bag, we knew that we'd get paid that day. It was great.
Yeah, always be nice to the secretary, huh?
Be nice to the secretary. It's this is a very good team. This is Apple Cup winners, and we won Apple Cup in Melbourne, and we went to Sydney and beat Western Suburbs in Sydney. Now that was a good team. I was showing my son some of these players, and they are really, really good players. Every one of them are very, very. After we beat Western Suburbs Sydney 3-0, they told us to come to Olympic Park the following day. They wanted to take the picture because there's a record. There was a record out. Živela Croatia, long live Croatia, and this is the picture on that record. You know what I mean? On the record, and even today they sing forever, Živela Croatia, long live Croatia. This is me, and this is what I say. I'm a fugitive from Australian rules. You can see I was in the papers because instead of playing Aussie, I played soccer.
Yeah.
This is a story about me, about Croatia. But look, there's some. This is the first picture that we won in 1968, the Ample Cup. Now that's a picture winning the Ample Cup, and there were three Bills there. There was a Bill Snedden, Billy MacArthur, and Bill McIntyre. There's a Snedden there, and at the back is Bill Snedden. He was a minister for immigration, Bill Snedden. I don't know if you know the story about him, but well, maybe when you turn that off, I can tell you a story about him.
Okay, so
but there are many pictures. This is not my son's got, but this is not just it's another big one. There's millions of pictures, millions of things on here too, everywhere. What's been happening at the time? If somebody wants something, look, this is all from soccer news, from soccer action, from all the pictures, all the teams that came out here, and I've got all the pictures. Actually, I had a good wife because she would cut all the stuff and put it on the put it in a book for me. But,
great.
There were a lot of things, in here that people don't have. We are the weird mob. They won 1966. All the players that played in the state league, they were all different nationalities and from different countries. You know what I mean? They come and very wonderful mix of people. And look,
Yeah, brilliant.
people
So,
get,
Billy, you played obviously with good players. Who would you say were your best teammates, people that you played with that you would say it was a pleasure to play with them, that you just had the nice chemistry playing? Who are those players, either at club level or national level?
at club level, when Jim McKay came through, Jim McKay, Hammy McMeek, and Joe Keenan, they were the front players that I admire playing with up the front. You know, Joe Keenan had the ball unbelievable strength. He was a left winger with the left peg. He could, you know, we were really, really good with national team. I like Ray Bartz.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrific left foot, nice strong shot. Every time he hits the ball would just, you know, go and aim it well. I mean, he was with Manchester United in a school with Manchester United. He was a cadet there, and he learned lots of things from there. But he was a terrific player. He played Hakoah, and I liked him a lot. To me, he was probably the most complete player.
Yes.
Because he could hit the ball with the right foot, left foot. You know, he had a good shot. He was one of those number 10s that there was, you know, he was just glowing through the park when he ran and everything else, you know. And I wanted to be a bit like him, you know what I mean, to be able to, you know. But you learn all that. I like a Bonnie. I mean, Bonnie had all the technique you can possibly have. He had a terrific technique. He can keep the ball up. Me and him could keep the ball up for a long, long time, you know, without falling on the ground or anything like that. I mean, we used to practice with a bloody little tennis ball at night time under the lamppost, and if you couldn't juggle, say 100 times or keep it on your head, you don't join the group. Only the certain group, even that I'm talking back in Yugoslavia at the time, and this is just the way we were. Only the best can come in. Only the best can juggle the ball.
Tennis ball. Juggle the tennis ball.
Sometimes that's all we had. We had the policemen walking from one way from where we lived, one end of the Zemmun. From one end of the street, he'd be walking this way, and then you have from the other end of the street walk that way. And they've taken our balls. And I would beg my grandmother to give me money so we can go and get the ball, rubber ball from Czechoslovakia. It was hard to get, and the police would take it off us. He'd take it home for himself. If we didn't see him, or if he's walking by, he'll just come and grab the bloody thing. Maybe for his own children, but it's happened many times. And don't forget about that. We hit it on a fence that had a nail in it. The ball would just explode. You know, that was early days, but we just loved that ball. You know what I mean? It was something magical.
And who would you say? Obviously, big raps for
the football players. Those and that.
Yeah.
Many. I mean, there were players I admired at George Cross. Campbell, he was Archie Campbell. I liked him a lot. There were players. I'm Croatian, but there were a lot of players at Footscray Jazz. Branko Buljevic, he was a terrific player.
Yeah.
Had all the ability. He was lacking a little bit of speed, but apart from that, he had all the skills and everything that could be a good player. But look.
And toughest opponent, who would you say that you hated? You know, who would kick you, or who was the player that was really tough or got, you know, in your head or would kick you off the ball?
Well, look, Hellas had few of those players that would kick the people. Ruzes, he was a very good technical, but he was a rough, tough man. You know what I mean? You avoid him, like, you know, because there were players at Polonia. Dudon, for example, the first time I played against Polonia, he said, "You get near the ball, boy." He said, "You're gone. You know, they're going to carry you out." I thought, shit, what I'm doing here? I might as well not even play football. This guy's going to kill me. You know what I mean? What am I doing here, you know, against Polonia? But there were the players. Slavia had a tough team. Johnny Sanchez, Goodwin, Cook, Shepherd, all those guys at the back. They were big, tough men, you know. After that, there were others. Alexander got a couple of Scottish people. They were tough. But Hellas had so many good players. Kambaropoulos, I admire him. He came Camberopolis came from Olympiacos, came to
Yeah.
Hellas. And I remember one day we played Dockery Cup in midweek on Wednesday. I couldn't sleep all night. I'd think, if I'm going to play against Camberopolis, I'm number 8, he's number 10. And I used to watch him all the time. And I thought, geez, you know, what am I doing here? There were many times I thought, what am I doing here? Like, I should be doing something else. Well, I play football. Johnny Margaritis, Camberopolis, then came Nestoridis, then Mandalis. I like Mandalis a lot. Mandalis is, we grew up together the same. And, yeah, Johnny Bedford, he was a tough man, you know, and Mantarakis, Santopoulos, gee, you know, Hellas in a tough side.
Yeah, so you
Tough side.
great admiration, obviously, for the opposition as well. And so you also shared pitch once with the great Lev Yashin, is that right?
Yes, Dynamo Moscow when it came here, yeah. Dynamo Moscow.
What, so obviously he was legend. What was it like sharing the pitch with him?
Love Yashin. I remember him for you know, being a top goalkeeper in the world. He played in the World Cup many times, and he captained Russia over 100 times, I think, for Russia. He was just a Love Yashin. Just a love means lion. It's his first name, Love Yashin, and you know, big man in the black. He was you know. Maybe I should have played a little bit better and not worry about him. I was just glad to be on the same pitch as him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We were all a bit overawed by the way they are, these Russians, because you don't hear much of Russians, you just don't see much of them. So when the Dynamo Moscow came here, they thrashed us. But the next time they came here, the score was 0-0. Mm-hmm. We were a little bit more adopted to them. We were just a little bit scared of them. We did Russians, this, that, you know what I mean? Actually, Torpedo Moscow came here in 1964. Torpedo, they had some really good players. Torpedo Moscow, yeah, but just check it. I think it's 1964. And then Roma came in 66. And then all these teams used to come their summer, they came out here because their winter, they came down here. A lot of teams. I played against Cruzeiro, they had Tostao, they had some unbelievable players. Legia also had Dina, who played with Manchester City, and a lot of other players. So every year that came down here, and I captained Victoria against all of them. And it wasn't, the beginning was always good, just that we weren't fit enough, mind you. We were part-timers. If we were full-time professionals, things would be different. We'd be able, now they're full-time professionals, now they can carry a bit better. But we were only part-timers. We tried Tuesday, Thursday, maybe 3 days or something, but then again, but these guys are, when I was playing for the national team, we train every day, totally different situation. Come on the park, you are much stronger. Everything sounds different, is different, you know what I mean? Because you can run, you know they're better than them because you got it inside your body, you know.
Yeah.
But Australia, resilient, they love the country, and people love this green and gold when they put on. They change. Everything is changed when you put the green and gold on.
Yeah.
As you saw in running and swimming and everything else, you know what I mean? It's the pride in being Australian.
Oh, this is beautiful. So Billy Vojtek up the front, scored goals for fun. Obviously named in Melbourne, Croatia's team of the century, fondly remembered as a great, and he played for our country and did us proud. We were, you know, fell short in 70, where we probably could have done the job there, but we didn't get over the line against the Rhodesians.
Sorry to tell you this, all that's 1970 to go to Mexico in 1970. That was the biggest goal and the biggest miss in my life, because we were at the right age, all of us at the right age, and we should have gone there, and we missed only because we had a very difficult situation in Korea, to play Korea twice, Japan twice. And we beat them, we won tournament, then we had to come back and go to Africa.
Yeah.
Rhodesia and Africa. We thought we were going to beat them in 2 games. They already organized the match, Australia-Israel, the following Sunday. But what happened to us, we played 3 times. If we played Rhodesia twice to beat them, twice was a draw, and then a third game a win, 3-1. And then we had to go. We missed 4 days in Israel, and we came there too late. We couldn't acclimatize. We came from 43 degrees in Mozambique. That's what we played in Mozambique, down the bottom, Mozambique. And then we gone to Israel November. It's very cold there, the whole thing. And we were stiff as ever. It was a free kick, nothing. The team everything was going perfect. And all of a sudden, the free kick hit Zeman. Zeman, it was a Prague centre back, hit him in a Corey's going that way. The ball hit him on the shoulder and just trickled over the line. They beat us 1-0 over there in front of 75,000 mad people for football. Everything was just unbelievable, and everybody hated us over there, because we came to beat. Anyway, so we came here to Sydney, and the pressure was unbelievable. They're already booking the third game in Hong Kong to be played. You know what I mean? We haven't even played the second game, but we're going to win, and that's that. We all thought we're going to win. It wasn't to be. We were attacking. They scored the goal, 82nd, whatever minute or whatever it was, close to the end. And then, we scored to make it 1-1. They've gone 1-1, 1-0. They go over there. And there were only 16 teams in the World Cup. Not like today. We've got 32. It's going to be even more for next one. But only 16 teams. And actually, Israel did very well. They were not beaten. They drew with Italy. They drew Uruguay. There was a group that they were in. Didn't get through. But they finished out of 16-11. That could have been Australia. We never know. We might have been even better. But that's the way it goes. Because the following year, on a tour we went. The following year, the team went on a world tour. And we beat them in Israel 1-0. We beat them. That's to show them that we are better than them. You know what I mean? But not too late. Anyway, not to worry.
Yeah, so this is, we had the energy of that game. That game, obviously, I watched a shortened reel, maybe about 20 minutes of that game. I think we had the better energy of that game, but it wasn't meant to be, obviously.
Again, we got a silly goal. George Kidd's very, very, very good. It ball jumped over his foot for some. You want to kick the clearance, and the ball hit bump or something. You want to over his foot, and the Israeli guy ran in and scored the goal. But he would never miss the ball in a million times. He missed it then when he did. This is something that happens.
Yeah.
Not only to us, but it happens to teams and the players and anybody that does anything. You can't always be perfect. So,
yeah.
So for myself, I didn't play very well either because it wasn't. We were drilled into all this stuff into a head, where we should go, where we run, what to do, how to do it. It was very hard for me. As I said, I come from Footscray Park, where I've learned my football the way I wanted to learn how to be. But when you're in a big matches like that, particularly in Sydney, that matter of life and death, because the winner goes and the loser loses out. So it's a total different pressure on a person. Some people can make it better, but for some unknown reason, I didn't play well because I played well against that guy. I played him. This is my 4th time against this guy because we played that. They came on a tour here, and I played all the matches against him, and I was playing very, very well. This particular day in Sydney, the same player that played before, he improved. He would not give me room to move where I wanted to, how I wanted to go. I needed to do something else. I was only on the park for about 70 minutes or whatever. And the last 15 minutes I didn't play. And rightly so. The Rutherford come on and, doesn't matter who plays what it is, as long as we can get through. But, it's just one of those days. I always think if I played a lot better, if we played, we would, there's things that I think, but it doesn't really depend on me. We're all the same because we played for national team together. We've been through many matches, but this particular, the pressure was unbelievable. There's 40,000 whatever people in Sydney. They all came to see Australia go through. It is a terrible, everything is everything. You've got to win. And we wanted to win. Finish up 1-1, would you believe?
Yeah. This is the life of a footballer, right? So you do your best to play your best, obviously the best of intentions, but sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And this is football and this is life. So, today has been an absolute pleasure. The great Billy Vojtek, thank you so much for taking this opportunity to speak. and share with so many people that view your time with great admiration.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I still get then at High Point Shopping Centre, a lot of people come and say, "Are you Billy Vojtek?" Oh, I remember you. And it's wonderful that people still remember. Maybe after this, even more people remember.
Yes. So I just want to call out that you went on to coach. Obviously, you raised a National League player in your own son. So Damien went on to play, obviously, for Melbourne Croatia, also a fantastic player. So, that standard of the father to son relationship continued, and you went on to coach many teams as well. So, and thank you for your contribution in coaching other young boys to learn and love our great game.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I have taught plenty of youngsters. Adrian Zara, I coached him from under 16. Always thought he's one of the excellent players. Pity that Muscat fixed his life like that. I don't know if you remember that game against Victory and I think Melbourne City and Muscat went straight through him. But he was a terrific player and lots of young players. And I coached Viduka. My brother coached Viduka from under 12 to under 16, and I was from under 16 to way beyond. So I coached him all the time. We stood back behind after the game. I would be a centre back. He'll be a full centre forward. And, he could never go past me because I can force him to decide he wasn't fast. Even then, he wasn't faster than me. So there's no way he can go past me. He can't go past me if he gets the ball and I'm right next to him. But if I'm a meter and a half from him, he can't go past me. And, and we used to teach him how to get the ball and where to go and how to do it. So, when he became what he became, I'm proud to. I wish Viduka would say, "Oh, look, this Bill Vojtek, I mean, we worked so many nights together after the game. Do you know what I mean? After the game, and we had a lots of good players, and he wasn't the really best player in the team. There was this guy. But he was injury prone. Fantastic player. He played centre forward. Viduka couldn't play in the first team in that under 18s. You know what I mean? And this guy got injured, and Viduka start getting in there, but just shows you. Look, you got to have a little. Sometimes he wasn't lucky because he had knowledge. But beyond that, I mean, then he can go to England and score 4 goals against Liverpool. I mean, this guy is something special. You know what I mean? I acknowledge that, but I'm just saying there were other players that were very, very good like him that didn't make it. So it's not all the talent you have that can always make it.
Yeah.
It's how this card falls for you and how you take your chances.
Yeah, so it goes to show, I would echo that point, that talent is only one ingredient of becoming a footballer. You need the passion, the desire, the determination, the mental fortitude, many things to become a player at the top flight. So,
at the time, at the right time.
Yeah, at the right time. Bit of luck too.
Bit of luck. Like I said, I was in Vietnam, never scored a goal in four matches. And I could have been out. Nobody would know anything about Billy Vojtek. But I was left in. I scored a goal, and all of a sudden, here I am. I played 30-odd matches without stopping for Australia. It could have happened. Look at Frank Micic. Now, he's the best. He was the best player. But on that muddy, bad ground that day in Vietnam against New Zealand, he played 4 matches, and Schaefer played 75, whatever he played.
Yeah.
No comparison between the players. This guy's unbelievable player, Frank Micic. That day, he didn't make it. That was the end of it.
Yeah. This is beautiful stories. It's been, like I said, fantastic speaking with you, Billy. We wish you all the very best with your family, and I hope they enjoy this.
I've got a grandson. He might play football. He loves the football. I've got a son that takes him anywhere to play. So, look, I don't know. Maybe his children would be good, whatever. I'm talking my grandson's children later on because it's difficult. Like when they say Vojtek, they all expect something special all the time from all the Vojteks. I mean, Damien was the same. He was a terrific player. He was the best junior player I've ever seen. He would score 8-9 goals. The goalkeepers from Chile, some Chilean team under 10s, whatever it was, 11. He would he scored 6-7 goals. The keeper would go and throw his shirt away. Didn't want to play anymore. he was like that. All of a sudden, he's changed. He became a midfielder. He became to pass the ball. I said to him, Damien, get in the box, get hurt a little bit. Somebody, you know. But Damien was, he likes to pass the ball to the other. I said, you get nothing from there. You got to score goals because you score goals. Team can win 2-1, 3-2, 1-0. You know, somebody's got to score a goal, so the team wins a goal. But he said, I'll pass it to him, man. No, pass it to what for? You could kick the ball over the bar or pass the post, or, you know. But this is got to have the special half to score goals. I really like that ball going into a net. You know, I like to see this goalkeeper dive and not touch it or something like that. This kind of stuff I wanted to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
For me, everything.
So Billy Vojtek, the man who's loved to score goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, nice talking to you. I hope I can meet you in Lot somewhere that we can talk.
Yes, brilliant.
Maybe at the then at Ralph Reserve.
Yes.
Go there.
We'll have a coffee at Ralph Reserve. Thanks, Billy. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, kind. Okay.